What's poppin', YouTube? Quote of the day is, experience is the best teacher. You get the test first and then the lesson afterwards. With that being said, let's get to this next video. What's poppin', YouTube? It's your boy Ghost coming to you from my truck. So, I'm gonna say it because I'm just being real and this is just what I've observed and noticed. But is it just me, or because I've noticed this, like, even with like brokerages, dispatch companies, it's been a lot of pop-up everything. Either I don't even know what to name them. I think I'm gonna name them pop-up pandemic trucking companies, pandemic drivers, pandemic everything since the pandemic started. And I've been seeing this a lot, like especially a lot of new drivers coming into this industry. They all say the same thing. Maybe, like, I would say, like, owner ops. A lot of owner ops coming in. They all preach that, the rates aren't what they used to be in 2021, 2022, 2020. But I realized during that time, because, I mean, y'all seen it. Y'all seen all the ads and the courses and the trucking is the new drug game. The trucking is the new hustle. It's here to stay. Everybody was on it. You seen all the gurus that were dropping basically it was a big ass hustle. Everybody was selling this and selling that when it came to trucks and courses, and you could get a truck and you could basically just be an investor and still make $1,000 to $2,000 a week sitting at home just collecting a check. I mean, y'all saw it because I know I seen it. And for the people that had fleets, that had authorities, that was running at the time, that had been running, because I think my authority, I had my second go round, I jumped out here in 2017, I believe. I think it was 2017 is when I basically relaunched and revamped everything. I think it was 2017. So I'm coming from like that era. So I'm coming from rates from being in that era. Now we all know in 2020, between 2020 and I would say the beginning of 2022, the rates was crazy. Like, I was getting $2,000 just to go to Phoenix. I was getting $10,000 to go to Florida, one way. Like, the rates was it was stupid, and especially if you ran reefer. Oh, trust me, the reefer. Man, it was some good times back then. But like I said before, a lot of people jumped into the industry around that time. Whether it was trucking companies, whether it was people just getting their CDLs because they didn't have no jobs because COVID had hit. Dispatch companies, it was so many pop-up ass dispatch companies and brokerages. It's got the game all fucked up now. Like, there's so much damn scamming in the brokerage industry. Even when I had my brokerage going, it was so much bullshit. Like, literally, I used to broker and I would be making like $2,500 a week just sitting at home. Like, that's just the brokerage. But that was the times back then. That was a crazy time to be alive in the transportation industry. But as soon as it slowed down, now we hear, the rates aren't what they used to be in 2020, 2021. It's a lot of new drivers saying that. A lot of new drivers. Because now they see the rates now and they just like, what's going on, everything. But they don't realize these are the same rates from 2019. Anybody that's really been in this industry, anybody that's really paid attention to the numbers, these are the same numbers from 2019. I think I made a video about this like a couple years ago. So, I mean, if you run a certain program, like, and I use what I do because, I run Cali and Arizona. Especially if I was to restart my authority, that's my lane. Like, I know that lane like the back of my hand. I know what the current rates are in that lane. I mean, I have friends that are on the same lane, and we talk daily about the rates and if they're going up, if they're going down, if this or if that. So it's like, and it's been like that since, like I said, like 2017. So just knowing what I know, knowing my numbers, knowing my fixed costs, knowing just everything I need to know. I know how much fuel I'm going to burn. It makes sense to know that the rates now, what they were for my lane, I can't speak for other people's lane. Like if you run Florida, we'll say Florida to Georgia, I can't speak for that lane. I can only speak for the lane that I run. But in the lane that I run, the rates that you're getting right now for drive-in reefer that's just what it was like in 2019. 2018 it was pretty decent. We were getting a pretty decent rates. They were a little, I would say a good maybe $500 more for running Cali, Arizona, Cali to NorCal, SoCal to NorCal, Cali to Utah. And then if you want to run up to Oregon and Washington, you want to run I-5 corridor, like all them rates, like I could talk about them all day because those were the lanes that I traveled. But as far as, and then diesel prices wasn't the same. Diesel was a little bit lower back then. Now diesel prices, shit's high. It's a little bit higher now. But, I just see a lot of pandemic drivers, pandemic companies. A lot of pandemic companies then going under because they didn't jump out here with these high ass truck notes, and then that the industry raped the shit out of them when the rates dropped. But that's just trucking. Everybody's seen it. They had that was back when trucks was going for like $100K for something with 700,000 miles on it. It was crazy, and people were buying them. But it's just like now, we had a huge influx of just drivers and trucking companies that popped up, and a lot of people started going under because the rates dropped. They weren't prepared for it. But if they would have did their due diligence, they would have seen that the rates have always been the same. The rates just basically dropped back down to like right now is what they were in 2019. Yeah, they suck, but my biggest thing is like as an owner operator, if you ain't making at least the minimum $1,500 to, we'll say $1,500 is like the bare minimum you should be making as an owner operator. That's the bare minimum. Anything under that, go get you a company job, because you just wasting time. You one breakdown away from being in a whole lot of trouble, because an engine, a DD15, if you got a Freightliner, is gonna run you without installation at least 13 bands. At least. And that's just because I know where to get engines from. Now you want it installed, that's gonna run you about 5 to 8 G's to get it installed. So out the door you looking at roughly between 17 to 20K for a motor. So it's just like I said, you really gotta run a tight ship and know your numbers. And it's a lot of drivers that jumped in here with the pandemic mindset, the pandemic price mindset. They don't got the before then, the 2019, 2018, 2017 mindset of what the rates were. Because if you really look back at that time, it would really help you out right now. Because you got a lot of people base their business off of these crazy pandemic rates. But you got to remember, the country was starting back up. But once that shit started back up and it started running smooth again, them damn rates dropped. So I noticed that, and I just decided, to drop a video talking about these, pandemic companies and these pop-up companies. It's just like back in the old days, like the motorcycle clubs used to be like, no pop-up clubs till a certain year. I mean, they should make a rule, no pop-up authorities and all this other stuff until a certain year, because I see a lot of videos about drivers talking about the pandemic rates, and it's like they got to get that out their head. That was just a luck of the draw. The real rates is right now, and if you can, like I said, if you can make at the minimum 1,500, because I know a guy right now, he's making about, talked to him yesterday, he's doing about 25K, well 2,500 a week running Cali to Arizona. He runs it 3 times a week, 2,500. That's about 10 G's a month, and like he said, that's good for him. It takes care of everything, and he's good with that. And it's like a lot of people, if you know, they really based their business off of stuff like that, you could maintain and be successful even if the rates dropped. So that being said, like I said before, love, peace, and prosperity, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Deuces.